All right. We are live. Hopefully, there's no echo here this time. It is 23 March 2020, 0409 here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which makes it about 05, no, which makes it about 1700 in Washington, D.C. And on the line here, I've got Maddie Kelley. But first, before she starts, Maddie has been waiting for her test results for this virus, for this G's disease. But I want to see if any comments come on about if you're hearing an echo or not. I hope you're not, because we're going to save Maddie's voice until she's better. And and let's see, anybody hearing any echo? So let's see. It's not really feeding out yet, Maddie. Oh yeah, it is. So you might
Okay.
be able to see it on your page at this point. Okay. Hello in
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Gary Carsey, uh, checking in from Manhattan Beach, California. No echo. Great. We got rid of the echo. All right. So
Cool.
here we go. We don't have video of Maddie, but next time we'll do it a different way. And but now, as you recall, on about March 9th, Maddie believes she became infected. We got to know each other in Hong Kong during the fighting. She was there as a human rights observer, always out with the medics. You can hear Maddie coughing in the background, and she was always out there with the medics and the journalist, and that's how we got to know each other on the front lines. So she's 22 years old. She was in Hong Kong as a human rights observer, and then has gone back to Colorado. There's no evidence whatsoever that she got the disease, and if she has it, she's waiting for a test in Hong Kong. It looks like she got it in Denver and knows the source. The person knew she probably got it from. And so on March 9th, she seems to have gotten it and then became symptomatic on about March 13th or 14th, right, Maddie?
Yeah, around then.
And how do you feel right now? Because today is March 23rd.
Yeah. I am extremely feverish. The cough is getting worse, and I'm just exhausted. I've been waiting, and every time I call the doctor, they say it'll be another few days, and it's been almost a week at this point. But when I ask if I can go in for any of the other symptoms or get medication to help me breathe, they
Well,
say that I can't go in because I can't go into the doctor's office. So they say go to the ER if I'm sick enough, but wait to go to the ER until I'm really sick because they're overwhelmed. So basically, I'm in that limbo of not knowing to where I can get treatment, being sick enough to where it's awful, but not being sick enough to where I have to be hospitalized, which is what they're waiting for, it seems.
okay, so what's your temperature right now? Have you taken it in the last hour or two?
About 30 minutes ago, it was 101.
101 Fahrenheit. Obviously not Celsius, or you would be boiling. Uh, so,
Yeah.
all right. So you got tested when you went to the hospital about 3 days ago now, right? You had to
Um,
go. What? I'm sorry.
I went I went on Wednesday, so it's been
Oh,
5 days
oh,
now,
5 days. Wow, time has just flown. So you
five,
went. You
six
had to
days.
go to the drive-through. You didn't actually go into the hospital, of course, and then they gave you a flu test. So you got two different tests, right?
Yeah, I got the flu, which was in the nose, and they did that immediately because they can do it in like 5 minutes.
Right.
And then when that tested negative, they gave me the COVID test. And from there, they said a couple of days that I should know by the end of the week and to call if I didn't hear by Friday. And they called and they're like, we're sorry, it's 5 to 7 business days. We're backed up with thousands of tests.
Right. In the United States. All right. So you got tested on
Yeah.
Wednesday. It is now Monday in Thailand. So it must be Sunday for you still. Uh,
Yeah,
and
Sunday afternoon.
and you still don't know in this really very serious
Yeah.
disease. So
And because I don't know, I can't go into a doctor to get help with the symptoms. If it weren't corona, I can't go in until they know. So if I just have pneumonia or something, it's getting worse, or it's a comorbidity with pneumonia at this point, but they won't let me in to see anyone until I'm need to be hospitalized at this point.
Are
So it's
you?
just miserable.
Yeah. Are you in any email contact with the doctors, or do you have to just call, or what?
Yeah, I have to call, and it's been a pain because I feel super bad for them. It's not their fault, but like their phone systems are getting overwhelmed, like to the point where their phone system was down for 20 minutes the other day. No one could call.
Do they ever call you?
Yeah, they said that they would call me with the test as soon as it came in.
So in other words, your quarantine is completely voluntary, right? In other words, there's no guard at your door, that sort of thing.
No, actually, there's literally nothing stopping me from going out other than common decency.
And
They asked me to stay quarantined until they knew,
how do
but
you
that's it.
how do you
I
get
could
your food?
go in. Thankfully, I have a bunch of food. Once this started, actually, I grew up in a small town, so that had tornadoes every in really bad winter. So we'd always grab extra cans of food for emergency stock. So I started doing that once I heard about everything a few months ago.
So
So
you got your food what, in January or February, or
yeah, over the course of January,
right?
February, and early March, I just would grab extra cans or whatever because
Well,
that's what I did as a kid for storms.
well, that's when our group started talking about it as well. Maddie and I are in the same. We're in a group of journalists and medics, and Maddie's a human rights observer. So we got to know each other in Hong Kong. She's 22 years old, and so we were all out on the streets together in that fighting month after month. And so we've got our own little circles, and we've been talking about this since January. And so some of us have prepared because we could see it coming, and Maddie is one of those. But as you can see, she's gotten sick, but she did not get sick in Hong Kong. When did you come back from
Yeah,
Hong Kong?
I came back. I landed in Denver right before Christmas, so the 22nd, I believe. And then I've been back ever since. So I haven't, I was supposed to actually go back in February, but I canceled all of my plans to go anywhere until this is fixed.
Yeah, I mean, you came back in
So,
December. You came back in December, right? And
yeah,
so, and that was before it really started picking up there in Hong Kong.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to talk too much because you're coughing more and more. How does your throat feel? You're coughing, so I can
Um,
guess.
yeah. It it's like hurts to swallow, but like the cough is chesty, if that makes sense. Like it feels like it bellows in my chest whenever I cough.
Last time we spoke, you said your chest felt tight. Do you still feel that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I Nothing's really improved at all. It's just kind of the same.
My other two
Same thing,
friends
different day.
who may have it, their symptoms aren't as bad as yours, actually. They both feel badly, but not as badly as you. Um, and you're actually the youngest, by the way, by far. The other one might be about 35 ish, and the other one, I would say, about 45. And all three of you are women. So that's interesting. And they have not been tested either. So it's unclear that if they actually have it. They're just showing similar symptoms.
Yeah. It spreads quick. I think part of the reason I'm a lot sicker is I had pulmonary embolism when I was 20, which damaged my right lung. And I had pneumonia twice last year. So I'm one of those pre-existing conditions people that doesn't normally apply to anything other than pneumonia and apparently this.
Yeah,
So it's like even when I was at the drive-in testing center, the doctor talked to me. She goes, "You're the type of people we worry about."
right. Do
Okay.
you do you have, for instance, things like vitamin D and vitamin C?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a window that you can sit beside and get sunlight? Like open the window? You
Um,
have to open the window.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm on a garden level and our windows face north. Yeah, north. So we don't get any direct sun.
Right. You're in Colorado, so that means you will not be getting direct sun on a north facing window. Um,
Yeah.
so Wow. Well, tomorrow's Monday, so hopefully you'll have your test back. But they said 5 to 7 business days, so we could be looking as long as even next Wednesday.
Yeah,
This is the United
which
States. It's unbelievable. Uh,
yeah.
right. And so you were down in El Salvador before, weren't you?
Yeah, I went down there for I was going all around Central America for a few weeks doing research on the Civil War and the massacres.
Right. So I mean,
And
you're. I mean, I saw you in Hong
yeah,
Kong. You're a tough individual. I mean, that's really clear. So you're not the kind that you know. I knew that the first time we met. You're not an average woman. You know, and so that you're actually laid up with this, and you're quite strong and young is of concern, and you can't get tested. But you said at least look at you. You're actually reading a strange book right now. What are you reading?
I just started Red Famine by Anne Applebaum. It's about Stalin's war on the Ukraine, um, like all of the agricultural policies and just general and institutionalized and politicized genocide that the
That's
USSR did on the Ukraine.
That's the Maddie I got to know in Hong Kong. So you're facing this G's disease, and you're reading about famine from Stalin. You're a
Yeah,
go
I actually just got done
you're a go
with
getter.
a serial killer book.
A serial
So
killer book, lovely. You're definitely frontline material. Um, well, I see a lot of people sending comments up to you here, and I'm reading some of the comments. That's why I'm hesitating because I'm actually. Can you see some of the comments, Maddie? Maybe
yeah,
maybe
I can see the ones on Facebook.
because in case you might want to answer any. Okay.
The one that without scrolling, I just saw Roxanne Berry. I don't understand why you have to have a positive test in order to get treated.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I have been told. I'm actually help out with my doctor friend's medical diagnostic company, which doesn't work on the virus. But a big reason that they're doing it is if I go into a doctor's office to get treatment, I can infect others who, so they try not to get me into like normal doctor's offices. But at the same time, they worry that if they do treatment for something and it turns out not to be that, it can make the underlying illness worse. So, like, if they started treating me like I had pneumonia and it turns out I had the virus, the treatment for pneumonia, they're not sure because it's still new, but they worry that the treatment for pneumonia could make the symptoms for corona worse or cause a comorbidity with another problem. So it's kind of a preventative measure and a weird thing that they worry about because they don't know really anything,
Mm,
if that makes sense.
yeah. So you're good to go at least with food right now and that sort of thing. Of course,
Yeah.
if you are not good to go with that, you can call me immediately and we can work on that ASAP. But you're good to go. Is there anything that you need other than to get your test and medical treatment in the United States of America?
Yeah, no, I think I'm okay. I have a whole library of books to read at. So,
You know what's really
and
concerning, Maddie? Go ahead. You're sick, so I don't want to talk about. I don't want to
oh no,
bother your
it's okay.
mind with this. But when you finally get over this, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I mean, seriously, this is the United States, and it's not even really hit us yet, and you can't get in. It's not even
Yeah,
really hit us yet. We're just like on the very tiny front edge of it, and you can't even get in yet in Denver. You're not even in New York or California. Unbelievable.
yeah.
Hmm.
Which makes me worry for my grandmother, like, and just people in general. I used to work in hospice. If one person gets exposed, everyone's gone.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened in Seattle and nursing home up there. Was it? 35 people died. I believe it may have been more, but I mean, it's clear that this is going to sweep through nursing homes around the world, anywhere. That's why I've been saying for a while, if anybody has any family or friends in nursing homes, they need to stop what they're doing and go get them out right now,
Yeah.
because it's going to get them.
Yeah, my grandmother lives in an apartment, like a normal apartment, but he refuses to let her out now. He's like, no, you're staying home. You're 75. You have COPD, emphysema. You cannot go out. And he bought her everything. Like
Yeah.
people are prepping, but not enough.
Yeah.
People are people are having quarantine parties where they get a bunch of people together in their apartment.
They're having quarantine parties.
Yeah, I've
Like
seen a bunch of people posting about quarantine parties where they go to like their backyard or the house
like
and they
hur-
all just get together.
like hurricane parties, yeah, where everybody stays with, while a Cat 5, blows them away. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
Actually, Maddie is in Denver. I'm in Thailand. Maddie's in Denver, Colorado. I'm in I'm in Thailand. So we're talking on, from across the world from each other. So yeah, so many, and also it looks like in Italy, many young people are actually getting quite sick. It's not just an old people disease as it's turning out. That's the way it's starting to look anyway.
I mean, I wonder if early treatment and intervention could really help because as at least I've experienced and a lot of people are, it comes and then it goes away and it comes back way worse than before. And that second um, hit of being sick is really what sucks. It gets you really quick and really hard. And it
Yeah.
and it doesn't really it doesn't really just come and go like the flu where you have it really bad for a couple of days and then you slowly get better. It's just consistently awful. And
Yeah.
I think with early intervention, it could prevent a lot of people from getting this sick.
I've heard doctors saying that as well online. Doctors saying that it's you get the first bout of symptoms and they can be serious, and then you seem to be getting better, and then the second time is worse.
Oh, yeah. That was my experience fully. I felt awful. Not even, I just felt like I had a bad cold and I was fine. And then it came back really bad.
Wow. Okay. Well, Maddie, I'm looking at these comments here. I see a lot of people sending you comments of support, um, and probably very curious. Did she get your pulse okay? You took the oximeter when you went to get tested and all that, and you were fine, right?
Yeah, my pulse, I've always had a high pulse. It was like 98. My O2 stat was 93, so it was really low,
Right.
but not low enough to warrant immediate attention, which is kind of how it goes. You're sick enough to be sick and need, you know, medical treatment, but you're not sick enough to be hospitalized, which is that weird place of limbo where I feel like it can get dangerous.
Maddie, you are coming of age at a really interesting time in our country and the world's history, and you're right on the front edge of it. This is going to make dramatic political changes in the United States when people like you can't even get in to get treatment. And
Yeah, I'm extremely frustrated.
it's not even really hit us yet. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very frustrated. Like when the NBA player tested positive, Utah had the ability to do 100 state tests a day at that point, and the Utah Jazz team, who makes millions a year, took 58 of those,
The
and out of other people's pockets. Um, People who can get treatment and pay for it out of pocket are getting the test back immediately,
oh
relatively.
yeah, like the rich basketball players got it back immediately, right? Uh,
Yeah. And they actually went through the state of Utah. So instead of paying for their test, they went to state testing facilities, took over half of them for the day, and then did not, and basically got away with it, even though there are a lot sicker people who can't get those tests now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the United States is just so incredibly far behind. It's third worldish, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, I I believe. Uh, Let me see if there's any comments on here that others want to hit you with here. But you're seeing them as well, aren't you? Jessica's asking,
Yeah.
how are you feeling now? You can hear her
Um,
coughing, but how do you actually feel? Like head to toe. Let's start head to toe. Like, how do you have
I
a
just feel
headache?
awful.
Do you have any headache or
Um, I have a pretty consistent headache. I'm drenched in sweat. I'm hot and cold. So like 10 seconds I'll wear a sweatshirt and then I'll be drenched in sweat and have to take it off, and it's just back and forth. I can't really breathe. The coughing is back. Honestly, I spend 90% of my day on the couch. The other 10% I'm getting food.
right? How
And I'm
about
not even hungry. I just kind of know I need to eat something.
uh what about sleeping? Are you getting good sleep?
Um, I'm getting a lot of it, but it is not good. Um, it's fever dreamy and fitful because one second I'll have an Amish quilt on me that's built for winter, and then it'll be too hot and I won't have any blankets, but then it'll be too cold. So I have to
Right.
like keep taking them off and putting them on, and it's awful. It sucks.
Okay, so do you have okay, how's your vision? Your
Um,
eyes?
they're okay. I actually lost my glasses, so
Uh
but yeah, they're okay.
uh how about your mental processes? Are you going fast, slow? How are you going?
Um, pretty. I'm not really thinking about anything. I'm just reading and watching TV. Um, I get really frustrated really easily because I'm just so sick.
Right.
Like I get really upset and I'm tired and I'm frustrated. I'm hot. I'm cold. I can't breathe. I'm coughing.
Right.
It just and I haven't really slept, so it's just kind of like everything is making it very frustrating. On top of the logical frustration of not being able to receive care.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. Actually, you're coughing more and more. Do you want let's do another interview after you've had a chance to whenever you're ready and do it on Skype and we can do a video interview. And if you would
Yeah,
like to do that, and because I think, what you're going through here is very important for a lot of others to see. They'll be able to see your condition well. I mean, we can do it now. I mean, whenever you get ready. I mean, I think you said you would want to get ready first, but
I
it,
have not changed my shirt or showered in days because honestly, I just don't have the energy to
yeah, when I say now, I
shower.
mean I mean like, hours
Oh,
from now, or whenever
okay.
you're ready, you just shoot me a message and
Uh,
then we'll go back online. It could be after you sleep or just whenever you're good to go.
yeah, I could do that.
Okay. And D Boy is asking, do you have access to a video doctor?
No, I don't, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't.
Well, Maddie, all right. Let's go ahead and let you get offline, and then I this is unbelievable. I just can't believe it's been so long, and it's not really hit Denver yet, and you still can't get any treatment.
Yeah,
All right.
it's definitely frustrating. Oh, and thank you again, everyone, for all the well wishes that I see.
Actually, can you
Um,
can you leave a comment again and say this is Maddie, so that way people can find your Facebook page?
yeah,
And so Maddie's about to leave and a comment, and then I'll click her comment so that you see it right here at the bottom. It'll be right there.
Okay, it should be all set.
Okay, as soon as that goes, there it is. I see it. Okay, add to podcast. Hey Barbara, and so right, and so there's Madeline Kelley. That's Maddie. So um, you can send comments directly to Maddie as well if she's got the energy
Yeah,
to answer them.
Yeah, and that's the photo of me in Hong Kong right after I got pepper sprayed, actually. I was cleaning out my face mask.
She was. We got to know each other in Hong Kong, and she was always on the front line with the journalists and medics. Maddie was there as a human rights observer. She just come in from other crazy places, and you did very well in Hong Kong. I was very impressed, super impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think my first international trip was to El Salvador. So I think after that, I was pretty calm.
yeah, well, Hong Kong compared to El Salvador is quite a different universe, isn't it?
Yeah. I actually love El Salvador. I fell in love with it, and I want to go back to Guatemala for a while again. The people were great, but absolutely insane.
Yeah, the people down there are quite nice, actually. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and go offline as well, and then uh, I'll come back on soon on a totally separate broadcast. But Maddie, if you need something, and I see people, people can see your name. It's down here at the bottom. There's Maddie's name right there, and so you can send Maddie any questions directly on her Facebook. All right, Maddie.
I'll try and answer them.
Get some rest and shoot me a message if you need something.
I will. And again, thank you everyone for all the well wishes and offerings to help if I needed it. It's greatly appreciated.
Bye, Maddie.
Bye.
Okay, Maddie should be offline now. She's awesome. That she is in so much pain. I told you before on the fighting in Hong Kong, we were out there getting tear gassed and they're shooting the rubber bullets everywhere. Police hit her in the back of the neck, or hit her on her neck one night, that sort of thing. I wasn't there for that, but she said it really was pretty bad. Actually, got a concussion. Wow. I mean, and now she's back home in the United States in even more danger because of our very pathetic medical system in the United States. I'm going to go offline now and I'm going to come back later and we'll talk about that. And I'm going to come back online when I do, only on my pages, not some other pages, so that I can talk more bluntly about our leadership. Mike out.